What we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. This is Exposé coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria, every Monday on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously. And I'm your regular host, Tony Akinyemi. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge.
Hello and welcome. This is Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. And today we continue with our conversation on your food and your health. And don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education, for the best prescription is knowledge. Today we're going to be talking about one particular food that is very common in West Africa in particular, particularly in Nigeria, and particularly in Western Nigeria. You can almost not eat food prepared, typical food items in Western Nigeria among the Yoruba culture, the Yoruba people, without tasting this particular food item, this particular fruit in the food. It's called pepper. Chili pepper or cayenne pepper. Now, many people don't know that chili peppers are quite high in vitamin C, probably even higher than what you find in citrus fruits, in oranges, lemon, lime, and what have you. Chili peppers are high in vitamin C. Now, new evidence also shows that an ingredient in chili pepper that is called capsaicin actually helps to fight excess body fat. And that should be good news for those who want to shed weight. Now, laboratory studies have hinted that capsaicin, the substance that makes chili peppers to actually kick, may help to fight obesity. How does it do that? It is by helping to decrease calorie intake, by helping to shrink fat tissue, and by lowering fat levels in the blood, cholesterol levels in the blood. Cayenne pepper containing capsaicin, that substance, capsaicin, also helps in fighting the bacterium that normally infects peptic ulcers. It's called H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori. That bacterium can be destroyed by capsaicin in pepper. Now, chili peppers fight also migraine headaches and can also help with sinus headache. I think it was recently that I took a very hot, chili pepper meal. That meal was really loaded with capsaicin. It was hot, And when I finished eating, all my sinuses began to drain. Everything began to drain. And I told my host, wow, you have helped to clear my sinuses today. And you guess what? My host ate the food and didn't even feel nothing. He didn't feel anything. Now, I pride myself as being able to tolerate very hot pepper. But my host was even, badder than I am. He was able to eat it. He didn't even feel anything. Whereas my own sinuses were draining. Now, chili peppers can prevent sinusitis, and it can also help to relieve sinus congestion. It can help to fight cancer, according to some studies, all right? It can help to lower high blood pressure. It can help to protect the heart, all right? It can help to fight inflammation. It can help to soothe intestinal diseases. It can help to dissolve blood clots. I was reading a particular literature the other day where the author was talking about how many years past in folklore medicine, hot chili pepper tea was prepared for anybody suffering from, a heart attack or a kind of stroke ischemic stroke that is caused by thrombosis, by blood clots. Just prepared, hot chili pepper tea. Just put cayenne pepper powder inside hot water and add some honey to it and make tea out of it and give it to the person to drink. And it can actually go to work in dissolving blood clots and helping to resolve that issue. Now, according to statistics provided by the World Health Organization, the WHO, as cited at the website of anticancer.net, www.anticancer.net, A-N-T-I cancer, anti-cancer, as they will call it in some quarters. You can check it out. anticancer.net/nutrition/#chili_pepper. Now, it was written at that website, and I quote, that in the countries where diets are traditionally high in capsaicin, the chili pepper substance, the fruits that contain 0.1 to 1.5% capsaicin in the pepper, society, those countries where their diets are high, traditionally high in hot chili pepper, it is said that the cancer death rates for men and women are significantly lower than they are in countries with less chili pepper consumption. This is according to the anticancer.net website, a quote from the WHO. Now, bell peppers, we call it tatashe in Yoruba language. It's called bell peppers. Bell peppers come either in green, in yellow, in red, different colors, okay? They are a good source of beta carotene as well as vitamin C. And they also contain the mineral silicon, which is very beneficial to the skin, to our hair, and to our nails. Silicon, you can find that in bell pepper. Okay, now cayenne pepper also is a red hot chili pepper used primarily for flavoring dishes. It has also been used for medical purposes for centuries. The botanical name is Capsicum fruticens. Capsicum fruticens. That's cayenne pepper. It's been widely used all over the world to treat heart disease, poor blood circulation, weak digestion, chronic pain, sore throat, headaches, toothaches, among many other conditions. And cayenne powder is derived from ground, dried shells of chili pepper. Now, the capsaicin that is in cayenne pepper also has what is known as thermogenic properties. Thermogenic properties. In other words, it has a way of increasing body temperature. Okay? So if you take a hot pepper soup, as we call it in Nigeria, hot pepper soup during a very cold weather, you see yourself sweating. See your core temperature being elevated, all right, by the pepper in the pepper soup. Now, the capsaicin in cayenne pepper is unrivaled in its ability to boost circulation and increase heart action. It has a mechanism of action, that has the extraordinary ability to enhance cardiovascular performance while actually lowering blood pressure. And capsaicin also has an energizing effect on the entire cardiovascular system. And the beauty about cayenne is that it doesn't cause palpitations. It doesn't cause hyperactivity. Neither does it cause an increase in blood pressure that most other stimulants will cause. All right? Okay. I hope you remember to take your water regularly. In the last season, we dealt with your water and your health. Right now, we are dealing with your food and your health. Now, perhaps the most important recognition that cayenne has gained in recent years has been its ability to stop a heart attack or stroke. Now, it was Dr. Richard Anderson, the author of the book, Cleanse and Purify Thyself. You may search for that book online in case you can get a downloadable digital version or buy, a copy from eBay or Amazon or any bookstore for that matter. The title of the book is Cleanse and Purify Thyself by Dr. Richard Anderson. It was reported that one of his fellow doctors rushed out into the parking lot to attend to a man who had died of a heart attack while parking his car. And the doctor simply put cayenne tincture into the mouth of the man. And within a few minutes, it was reported that the man's heart started beating again. Now, also according to Dr. John Christopher, he's a pioneer of herbal medicine in the USA, he said, and I quote, "In 35 years of practice and working with the people and teaching, I have never on house calls lost one heart attack patient. And the reason is, whenever I go in, if they are still breathing, I pour down them a cup of cayenne tea, a teaspoonful of cayenne in a cup of hot water, and within minutes, they are up and around." You know, I actually tried making that cayenne tea by myself, and I've tried it once or twice, not because I suffered a heart attack or anything of such, but I just wanted to try it and see how it tastes. And I really could tell that it was very soothing. Okay. Now, other doctors, however, insist that in emergency situations, such as in the event of a heart attack or stroke, cayenne capsules are not as effective as cayenne tinctures or cayenne powder. So if a heart attack or stroke should occur and the person is conscious, it is suggested that 5 to 10 droppers full of cayenne pepper tincture or 1 teaspoonful of cayenne pepper powder in a glass of hot water should be administered in the mouth and repeated every 15 minutes until the crisis has passed or until the person is finally carried to the emergency room. Of course, this should not replace the need to call an ambulance or rush the victim to the nearest hospital, but the cayenne pepper treatment can only be used as first aid while you are getting ready, while you are calling the ambulance, while you are calling 911 or whatever number you call in your country, all right, to get medical attention for that person suffering a stroke or suffering a heart attack. But as a first aid, if you have cayenne pepper at home, you can just make a teaspoonful of cayenne pepper tea. Put a teaspoonful of cayenne pepper in your teacup, add hot water. If there is honey, you can add a little honey. If there's no honey, it's okay. Just get it and administer it to the person. Particularly if the stroke was caused by a blood clot. It will dissolve the blood clot and the person may make it. All right. Cayenne also provides temporary relief of pain, which is why it is used in pain-reducing topical preparations, such as capsaicin. Capsaicin P is a topical pain-relieving substance. Then you have Zostric HP, or Dolorac, or R-Gel. All of these are topical pain-relieving preparations. And capsaicin is present. Cayenne pepper is present in them. In fact, there was a particular man I spoke to, I think he was in his 80s, who prepared, a topical kind of preparation like a lotion that contained cayenne pepper that he was actually using to address skin cancer. Right, skin cancer. And he told me that he has been able to help so many people with that preparation. And the major ingredient in that preparation was cayenne pepper. Now, according to Paul Farser, in an article published online on Wednesday, June 9, 2010, he says there are 10 reasons that, cayenne pepper, this spicy herb, should be used as a daily tonic. Now, don't go away. When we come back from this short break, I'll be sharing with you what Paul Farser listed as 10 reasons why cayenne pepper should be used as a daily tonic. He believes that it's packed with benefits upon benefits upon benefits that everybody should be taking advantage. I'll be back very shortly. Welcome back. This is still Exposé with Tony Akinyemi, brought to you by TSF, the Shepherd's Flock. Don't forget that what we need is not more medication, but more education, for the best prescription is knowledge. To be informed is to be transformed. To be uninformed is to be deformed. We are bringing you wellness information for your health transformation. And today we are talking peppers, chili pepper, cayenne pepper. And before we went on that short break, I mentioned an article that was published online June 9, 2010 by Paul Farser, where he listed 10 reasons why this spicy herb, cayenne pepper or chili pepper, should be used as a daily tonic. And these are the 10 reasons he gives. Number one, he says cayenne pepper or chili pepper, the capsaicin, the hot thing inside that pepper, actually helps to strengthen the heart and can even stop a heart attack in progress. That's the first reason everybody should use it as a tonic. And I want to challenge you, I want to dare you to try it. But of course, if you have never been eating pepper, hot chili pepper before, please, please, please be careful so that you don't turn red on your face, okay? Particularly Caucasians, you have to be very careful. But those of us who are Africans, particularly Africans who live in Africa, and particularly West Africans, and particularly Nigerians, and particularly Western Nigerians, in other words, Nigerians who live in the western part of Nigeria, they are called the Yorubas. The Yorubas love to eat hot pepper. Wow, pepper, they eat a lot of it. And pepper is good. It helps to strengthen the heart. And it can actually stop a heart attack in progress. Number two, it can increase blood flow and it can clean arterial wall plaque while rebuilding red blood cells. So peppers help in improving blood circulation, in helping to remove plaque from the inner wall, the endothelium of the blood vessels. It can also, rebuild red blood cells. And don't forget that your red blood cells, they have the oxygen carrying capacity. And the more red blood cells you have, the more you are able to carry oxygen around your body. So your body becomes well oxygenated. And a well oxygenated body is a hostile ground to diseases, particularly infectious agents and chronic degenerative diseases. Number three, why cayenne pepper should be part and parcel of everybody's menu is that it can actually aid digestion. In fact, can I shock you? It can help to eliminate peptic ulcers. Some people are surprised. I have heard the counsel given to ulcer patients, peptic ulcer disease, PUD. They say, avoid pepper, avoid pepper. And many doctors give that counsel for that matter. But then that's a wrong counsel, okay? The capsaicin in cayenne pepper can actually destroy H. pylori. And there is a simple way I advise people who are dealing with peptic ulcer disease or who have tested positive for H. pylori to use pepper to address the matter. Simple ways. Number one, you can take one habanero pepper, for example. We call it atarodo in Western Nigeria, atarodo, habanero pepper. You can take 2 or 3. You can blend it raw like that, okay? With very little water in a blender, or we normally have this grinding stone that we use to blend, all right? Or you can mash it in a particular pot. In Ghana, they call it apotoyua, okay? You mash it inside your apotoyua. And then you add a little coconut oil to it, a little coconut oil, and you now use that mashed pepper, as, a paste. You put it on, let's say 1/4 slice of, whole grain bread. And then you can splash it with a little bit of organic unsalted butter. And you can eat that once a day for 5 weeks. That will wipe out H. pylori. Or you can grind up pepper and add a little coconut oil and use it to eat a little piece of cooked yam or cooked potato. All right? Or those who have the liver. That's how we talk here in Nigeria. Those who are courageous, those who are bold, we say they have the liver. So those who have the liver, You can actually blend that pepper and add a little coconut oil and just have a tablespoonful and just drink it straight like that. Yeah, when I was growing up in primary school in Ondo State, particularly in Ondo Town, in Ondo State, you know, we used to use habanero pepper at tarodo. We used to eat it raw. You just put some little salt on your palm and you just dip your habanero pepper into it and you bite and chew as if you are eating mango or eating an apple. Yeah, habanero pepper, raw, fresh, ripe and red, hot. We will eat it like that, and we use it to soak gari in those days. We call it taibo. Taibo. Taibo wagai. Glory be to God. Anyway, I'm just reminiscing on my childhood days. And it was fun, a lot of fun. I mean, your nostrils will start dripping, or your nasal congestion, everything will clear out. Very wonderful. Okay, it can help to improve digestion. It can help to eliminate H. pylori and help your ulcer to heal. All right, number 4, it can stimulate the liver and also help to heal the gallbladder. Yes, cayenne pepper, chili pepper. It can help in stimulating the liver and help the liver to clean out. It can help the gallbladder to empty and to squeeze and clean out. Number 5, it can kill even prostate cancer cells and shrink tumors, according to some studies, as published by Paul Facer. He says cayenne pepper has been found to be able to kill prostate cancer cells and shrink tumors. Number 6, cayenne pepper also has, and by that I mean all hot peppers, not just cayenne, all hot peppers, can actually also exert some anti-inflammatory properties, can reduce inflammation, all right? And he says it can also shrink hemorrhoids, all right? And that's number 7. And number 8, the topical application of it can actually stop bleeding in an open wound. If somebody has a cut and is bleeding and you apply cayenne pepper, the bleeding will stop. Of course, you know what it means to apply pepper to a wound. The person will scream, but then the bleeding will stop. All right? Topical application on open wounds can actually stop bleeding. Number 9, cayenne pepper can also serve as an emulsifier to emulsify triglycerides. So it can actually help to reduce triglyceride levels if it's too high in your blood. And number 10, it has antimicrobial effects. It can serve as an antifungal as well, not just antibacterial or antibiotic. It can serve as antifungal. And it can also help, you know, to promote waste elimination. Now, a different human study found that people who ate the most cayenne pepper actually had lower rates of stomach cancer. And that's not far-fetched, because typically stomach cancer is said to be caused by the H. pylori bacterium. So when you eat a lot of cayenne pepper and the capsaicin in the cayenne pepper is destroying the H. pylori, then the likelihood of developing stomach cancer will be very low. So a human study actually found that to be true, that those who ate the most cayenne pepper actually had lower rates of stomach cancer. Now, cayenne powders are rated according to their heat potential, how hot they are. And that heat potential is what is known as the Scoville heat unit. Scoville, S-C-O-F-I-E-L-D, Scoville. The Scoville heat unit, SCU. So usually the hotness of pepper is measured in SCUs, usually at 40,000 SCU, 60,000 SCU, 90,000 SCU, 100,000 SCU. So if you are new to this, you have not been eating cayenne pepper or any type of chili pepper or hot pepper before, I suggest that you don't take any pepper that is higher than 40,000 SCUs, okay? But for maximum effectiveness, less than 40,000 SCU, it doesn't really have that potency. You have to take 60,000, 90,000, 100,000 SCU to see all the effects that we have listed. So the SCU level, that is the Scoville heat unit, determines the level, of capsaicin that is present in that particular type of pepper that you are taking, which is the essential ingredient of cayenne pepper. Now, there are even capsaicin capsules now available, which are not considered as effective as taking the powder in tea form or in solution. Now, the solution's heat kicks the nervous system into high gear through the nerve endings of the mouth and the throat, okay? And most users prefer mixing a teaspoonful of cayenne pepper with a glass of lemon and water. And I normally have a recipe for people who are constipated, for example, to prepare this cayenne pepper recipe to help, regularity, their bowel to move. A glass of water at room temperature, maybe 8 ounces to 12 ounces of water or lukewarm water, okay? And you can cut a lemon into two and squeeze the juice of half a lemon into that water. And then you use your 2 fingers to take a pinch, let's say like 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and put it inside it in a shaker bottle. And you can add a little bit of maybe maple syrup or honey and shake it vigorously together. And when you wake up in the morning, you drink that preparation, okay? I call it homemade lemonade, made with lemon juice and cayenne pepper with maple syrup grade A in lukewarm water, and drink first thing in the morning. That helps a lot, particularly for those who are constipated. Now, Dr. Schultz explains that cayenne pepper contains many wonderful phytochemicals, vitamins that are extremely bioavailable. Like vitamin C that the body can absorb very well, vitamin E that the body can absorb very well, as well as minerals, including even magnesium. And it cleans the blood, allowing hormonal signals to make their way unimpeded through our system. And thus, the enhanced immune response that happens thereafter, is something that is anticipated. Okay, now these days, commercial chili peppers are getting irradiated more and more. So it's best to get organic cayenne pepper or cayenne powder from a reliable source in order to get all these benefits we're talking about. Now, cayenne pepper is considered as an effective home remedy, like I said, for peptic ulcers. You can use it the way I have described. Now, the compound capsaicin in cayenne pepper helps to speed up the production of alkali, and it inhibits the secretion of stomach acids and stimulates gastric mucosal blood flow, as well as mucus secretion in the gastric gastrointestinal tract. Now, capsaicin also inhibits inflammation as well as gastric damage during H. pylori infection by targeting the NF-κB miRNA axis, according to an article that was published in the journal Pathogen, all right, in June 2022. That was published online on June 1, 2022. Now, H. pylori infection is commonly treated with antibiotics and proton pump inhibitors. I know that because I used to have peptic ulcer disease in the 1990s, and I know that my gastroenterologist then would prescribe me this particular drug, famotidine. Yeah, the name of the drug was famotidine. It wasn't available in Nigeria at that time, so I would order it from the United Kingdom, from the UK to Nigeria. If anybody was traveling abroad and they asked me, what should we bring for you? I said, please buy me famotidine, because I had peptic ulcer in those days, in the 1990s. And that is a proton pump inhibitor. It's a drug that will block the production of hydrochloric acid in the digestive tract, in the stomach in particular, because it was believed that it is the hydrochloric acid that was corroding the stomach and causing the ulcer. So when I couldn't get famotidine anymore, I found an alternative in Nigeria known as cimetidine. And then I started using cimetidine up until about 1999, before my eyes began to open little by little to natural approaches. And even at that time, my doctor told me that even if I took famotidine and antacids and antibiotics and my ulcer disappeared, that I should expect a recurrence in maximum 2 years. That was what he told me. But by the grace of God, by discovering cayenne pepper, chili pepper, habanero pepper, and I started taking that, H. pylori is now history, okay? Now, antibiotic resistance is a major concern responsible for the failure of eradication therapy in dealing with H. pylori. Many people, test positive for H. pylori, and they give them a combination therapy and eradication therapy. There's a kit that they give them that contains antibiotic, contains antacid, contains this, contains that, and then they take it, and the H. pylori doesn't respond because, the strains of H. pylori out there, most of them have developed, resistance to these antibiotics. But capsaicin is known to inhibit H. pylori infection, and they cannot develop resistance to this natural substance. All right, that's why cayenne pepper, chili pepper, and all the hot peppers are particularly very good in dealing with that. Now, non-toxic dose of capsaicin inhibited H. pylori-induced IL-8 production by gastric epithelial cells through the modulation of the I-kappa B and NF-kappa B and the IL-8 pathways. And now we conclude that capsaicin can be proposed as a potential anti-inflammatory drug by inhibition of the production of IL-8 H. pylori-infected gastric epithelium, according to an article published in the journal Helicobacter in 2007, October 12 to be precise. All right, this is how far we go today because our time is up. I hope you enjoyed this episode on peppers, and I hope you start learning how to increase the amount of pepper and the SCUs in pepper that you take. Please build up gradually until you become accustomed and adjusted and adapted to hot chili pepper. And if you have not been eating it, you've been missing a lot, I must let you know. Thank you once again for spending your beautiful Monday evening with me on Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. Join me same time, same platform next week, 8 p.m. West African time for another wonderful episode. And we continue to share wellness information for your wellness transformation. Again, don't forget what we need is not more medication, but more education. For the best prescription is knowledge. Do have a terrific, testimony-filled, wonderful week in Jesus' mighty name. God bless you. Bye-bye. I love you all.